Hello, today we're going to go over some kitchen items that you should have on hand in case you have a blackout power failure, especially over a longer period of time. My name is Wayne.
And I'm Belinda.
And we're with Normal Prepping.
First thing we think you should have set aside in a little kit for just this instance is if you do lose power and you don't want to be in the dark searching for items that you need. So I think the best thing to do would be to start yourself a little kit in a Tupperware bucket maybe and collect items that you will need in case you have a power outage and you don't have to go looking for them in the kitchen. First item I think would be essential would be a coffee pot, because everybody needs coffee in the morning, in the afternoon, when you're tired, just to have it. Everybody loves coffee. You need to have that.
Yes, you do. And, the coffee pot, like we're showing here, it's, a percolator. A lot of people have like the Mr. Coffees, and there are other versions. This is what we use.
Yeah.
If you don't have like a way of, heating this up, like an outdoor or another heat source, then this probably wouldn't be your choice. And that's kind of how this whole video is set up. This is what we use, and it fits how we're set up, but doesn't always fit your setup. So kind of look at it in that manner and say, what can I use? Perhaps you use a French press, then have a French press. Yeah. And then have a smaller way of boiling that. You could, however you want to heat your water, but then you can heat your water. Or even if you use instant coffee, then you don't have to worry about it. But this is what we use. We generally use a percolator anyway, but it's good to have, like she said at the beginning, make a kit and have all this in it. So our first choice is a percolator.
Yeah, a percolator that doesn't need to be plugged in. And that's what we're talking about here. Things you don't have to plug in because you're not going to have any power. Next item would be to make sure you have plenty of these.
Yeah.
Can openers. Because odds are you're going to be opening canned goods to heat up. So you're going to need a can opener. Not all cans are the pull type. A lot of them have resorted to that. They've all gone to the pull type cans, but still.
And as preppers, we have there's one thing we have, it's a lot of cans. And it's funny because I see so many people have those little military style, Well, no, you want something good, and you also want to have the ones that have the bottle opener and all that. So get yourself, and have more than one.
Yeah, you don't want to be fighting with the little manual open one.
But keep this in your kit for blackouts, and have this ready, and have maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to do is be trying to figure out a way to open cans. And okay, the next thing.
Next thing we think is extremely important to have in your kit would be an assortment of knives.
Yeah. Well, this is a cleaver, and say if you in a situation where you do have you're processing game or something, even like rabbits, like in our area, these are really nice. Or if say you have some chicken, or somebody brings over a bunch of whole birds or something, you want to chop them up, make them into smaller pieces. It's good to have this. I have this is my fillet knife for because I fish. This is for filleting my fish. These work better than a standard knife. So if you, by any chance you're able to go fishing, make sure you have your fillet knife. And then this is a bread knife. Of course, as being preppers, we have more knives, but these are ones you may not think to save, because a serrated knife, besides bread, is really good, especially when things are frozen. You can kind of almost saw through them. They work really well. And
also have your standard, a couple standard steak knives or butter knives, because you never know what you might need.
Yeah, just have a lot of knives.
Yeah.
So, but let me see here. I'm going to get to some cooking since we're talking about the heat. One thing I recommend, we have for back like a jet boil. This thing will heat up your water, and then you can make your coffee and do other things, and you're not using any real big power source or fuel source. You just get the little canisters, and jet boils are all in one. They're really simple. And then what I use also for backpacking, and this is one I like to have for an emergency, and because what's nice about these is this one has the little stove. And then the fuel, keep it in there. But what I like about this compared to the jet boil you have to use it as is. But this I could stick this even on my Mr. Heater. We just did a video on our Mr. Heater and how it heats up water, it cooks food. If you want to watch that video, we'll put a link up here. It's really cool. And when we actually heated water with this. So one of these are really nice. Just keep that, together.
There you go.
Yeah, and I'll show you how this works real quick. These things, they just open up. Like that. Like that. Then you just take the thing, pop the top. See, then you just screw it on. Just like that. And then see, this way you have your fuel, and this goes on top. Bam. The jet boil works basically the same way. The only thing is that this is combined, so you can't use the jet boil on a fire. But this is great to have, and it's amazing how much water you can boil with one of these little canisters. And these canisters, you can also get larger ones. Recommend that.
And the canister for this one's in there, right?
Yes. Yeah, they all self-contain. They have the canisters in them. So
yeah, so make sure in your kit you also have several of these canisters extra for whatever you're using, so you don't run out.
Yeah, and I recommend don't buy these. These are the ones I get for backpacking because they're lighter. And you can have these to have inside. Maybe have one of these hooked up in with your kit, and then have a couple of the really large ones that'll burn. For a long time. So
yeah. Because you never know how long you're gonna be without power.
Yeah, and that's what this is about. Having over multiple days.
Yeah, you want to be able to cook. Let's see. The next thing we want to do is have a thermos.
Right, and this works really well. Like if you have like outside like a fireplace, a fire pit, and you're cooking off that, and you're boiling water. While you're boiling water, you might as well boil quite a bit and fill these things up. That way, you'll have a bunch of water, stored up. That's hot. And you don't have to restart the fire, just
heat some water.
Heat some more water. So as you have the fire going or anything else, it works great. And it seems kind of weird to talk about this because we were like, oh, we have that in our house. And that's what we were thinking too until everything goes dark. And you're like, where's this and where's that? See?
Yeah, you need to keep everything that you're going to use in one spot.
In a tote.
Yeah.
And just stuff, and basically like the stuff I have, like this knife isn't really high quality, but it's sharp. You don't want to have the stuff you always want to use. This stuff, it's almost like your camping gear.
Yeah, yeah. This is not stuff you use on a daily basis. It's just stuff, here, put this back on there, for emergencies.
Alrighty.
Another thing you need to have is something to cook with. And we recommend these skillets.
Yeah, cast iron.
Cast iron.
Everything
skillets.
Cast iron, because cast iron, as far as if you're going to have cooking on an outside source, cast iron's the best.
For using on a barbecue with charcoal, if that's your heat source. For using on
a fire pit.
A fire pit.
Yep.
And they're deep. They come in all different sizes, of course, you know that. And they're easy to clean up.
And what's nice about them, you can go out and spend all your money and go buy new ones, but the best way to do it is go to Goodwill.
Yeah.
Grab them.
Go to yard sales.
Yard sales. That's where we got most of ours.
Yeah.
I inherited some from my mom, but most of them we got from yard sales and things.
Yeah, that one we got from a yard sale.
Yeah.
And
this is a nice thing. Look at this bad boy. This is a big old tea kettle, which is really nice because you could set this on, your fire. And and that is if you have one. Once again, if you live in the city, it's kind of hard. But if you even have a barbecue, you can heat your water up with this. And it's cast iron. Tell you, get my workout here. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, we also have for cooking, because especially if you have a lot of people, or if you have a lot of food. That's one thing. You may have stuff that starts to go bad, so you want to cook quite a bit. But a wok. Yeah,
because if your freezer's out and it's been a few days and you're worried about your meat that you have, cut it all up, put it in there, stir fry it with vegetables, whatever you have in your freezer that you want to use first, mainly vegetables and stuff that perish really quick, and make yourself a stir fry.
Yeah,
and that you could feed a whole bunch of people in the big bowl like that, over the open grill.
Yep, and I've done that before, so I know it works. Because I love the grill, I love the barbecue. So
yeah, we do it as much as we can.
Yeah. What else do we have here?
Get us out of the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
Next thing we have is you need to have items to eat with, that because if you don't have power, you may not have a water source like you normally do. So you don't want to be doing dishes. So you want to have plastic utensils, plastic cups, and of course paper products, plastic plates, and you can even get some plastic bowls just to have in your kit, just in case you lose power and like us, you have a pump and your water, you have no water. So you don't want to be wasting your water that you do have in your pipes or in your water heater
or
doing dishes.
Or if you have bottled water stored up, you're not
you don't want to use your bottled water stored that you have stored to do dishes. Just have a big package of paper plates and cups, utensils, so that way you don't have to worry about washing them. And that will save up your water for more important things.
Yep. And then I'll get to the next one, which we've kind of hinted upon. I didn't want to bring it up here, but alternate cooking sources. I brought the briquette to remind me for charcoal.
Yeah.
We also, I should have mentioned it when I was talking about the jet boil because it kind of fits along those lines. But also we have one of those Coleman camp stoves that run on propane, and they take the big jugs. So we have a bunch of the jugs back, for backup, and then we can cook on those if we have to. And also we have a fire pit, so we have multiple sources and, ways of doing things. So
I always have a couple extra bags of those charcoals, briquettes, and also have like a couple little stacks of wood. You don't need much. You just so in case you do have to use your fire pit, you want to make sure you have the wood to cook.
Yeah.
It's always good to have wood stacked up somewhere around your house. Another item I thought would be really good would be to have cookbooks. Have a cookbook so you know going through your pantry, you look at stuff and you think, man, I ain't got nothing to cook. But all you have to do is go through a cookbook and look at simple ideas. Even if you modify them for what you have, just get some ideas on what to make with what you have.
Yeah.
So cookbooks, any kind, have more than one. Simple, basic Betty Crocker book, whatever you have handy, so you can have in your kit to give you ideas on what you should be making if you can't come up with anything.
And that's one thing too, like I bring it up all the time, is during an emergency, you want to try to make things as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, as easy as possible.
And then also, give yourself something to do besides sit and think that you're in the dark, So it's nice.
Stress out.
Yeah, stress out. So if you give yourself, let's put together a recipe. Let's all get together and come up with something that'll give you something to do, and it'll make time fly and bring some normalcy to the situation.
Yeah.
So
just look at what you got in your food pantry, look at the cookbook, and see what you come up with.
Yeah, it might not be close, but it gives you something to do too.
Yeah.
And then we have water filters, and there's water filters. I mean, a variety of choices here. We have the Berkey downstairs. We also did a video on water filters. I'll put that right up here, a link to that. But this one here, I just pulled it out of my backpack. It's funny because a lot of our blackout, I guess we don't call it, kit is my backpack. but we have one of these knock bags for collecting water, and that video will show you how we use it. And then I have my favorite backpacking filter, the Catadine. And this thing works great. Like I say, that video I have shows you how I use all these. But you never know what when it comes to water, what you have, and perhaps you can go to a lake or a stream or somewhere else, or even maybe your water is questionable. They do make a cup that filters out more of the viruses and things. I don't own one of those yet. I think it's called a McGrill or something. I'll post a little picture of it right up here. But I guess those are really good. But those you have to pre-filter before you use, because they're so fine that if you have any sediment, they'll plug up. So, but water is the most important thing.
Always have some kind of filtering system.
Filter system, and always make, of course, besides just having this kitchen, but you have to have water. So
yeah.
Well, it looks like that's about all we have.
Yeah, that's about all we have is a quick kit to get you by a few days or a week or so
Yeah.
or however long you may need it
Yeah.
to cook.
Yep. And that's what we're
cook?
doing right now
Yeah.
is we're building this as we speak, you know, so.
And we're going to get a tote and label
Yep.
it and kitchen items for cooking or,
Yep.
yeah. And just
and I
have it
think-
ready so we don't have to search for anything. We just open it up and we can start cooking.
Yep. So make sure, you know, you guys always have the greatest ideas. Let us know because like I say, right now we're building this kit. This is something that is in progress. So I'd love it, man. I'd really like it. I'm sure all the viewers would love it if you come up with some good ideas. You know, if you're a new subscriber, a new viewer, I really appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. I love my community. I hope to see you again.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, bye.